You aren't a person. To Vault-Tec, you're just a biological asset with an expiration date. Take a look at Vault 81. There's a school teaching the next generation and hallways filled with everyone doing their jobs. In this sector, you could say they're living perfect lives, though a second secret population was living inside the walls. They weren't there to help, they were there to watch. This is part 2 of the Vault-Tec Iceberg, and if you haven't seen part 1, you should definitely go check it out. I'll be leaving a link for it in the description of this video. As for this video, we're looking into the shallow waters. It's all about the social cracks. These were the vaults designed to see how much pressure it would take you to portray your neighbor, your reality, and your own free will. Vault 21. On the surface, it's a Vegas gimmick, a vault where every conflict is settled by gambling. But look closer at the psychological reports. Vault-Tec didn't care about fairness. They were testing how far they could bend your will. When you make a society where a coin flip carries more weight than a medical degree, you delete human ambition. They bred a population of people who were so passive, they couldn't even defend their own home. That's why when Mr. House demanded the vault, they didn't pick up guns. They picked up playing cards and played a game of blackjack for their lives. They lost, and because they were conditioned to believe the house always wins, they walked out into the wasteland like a herd of sheep. But Mr. House didn't just liberate them. He saw broken people and decided to finish the job. He evicted them from their home and ordered his Securitrons to pour tons of concrete into the lower levels, literally entombing their history in wet cement just so he could turn the remaining halls into a tacky hotel for his own profit. He took a 200-year struggle for survival and turned it into a tourist trap. But the question remains, did Mr. House just destroy the only home these people ever knew? Or by doing so, did he actually save them from a society that was destined to gamble for eternity? Vault 101. This vault ran by one absolute, set-in-stone directive. The doors stay shut forever. No one goes out, no one comes in. This wasn't about safety, it was about generational gaslighting. Vault-Tec wanted to see if they could take a group of free Americans and turn them into a captive audience that only trusts one man, the Overseer. By faking the data on the outside and telling the residents the surface was a radioactive hellscape, they turned the vault from a shelter into a prison that the prisoners refused to leave. But here's the thing, to keep that lie going for 200 years, they had to cheat. The never open rule was a total scam. A completely isolated population of a few hundred people can't survive forever without running into genetic dead ends. So the Overseers were secretly opening the door to let in scouts and outsiders from the wasteland while the rest of the vault slept. They would bring in adults from the outside and give them a jumpsuit and a fake history and drop them into the population. And because the Overseer controlled every terminal, every record, nobody questioned where the new guy came from. They proved that if you control what people see, you don't even need a real lock. They turned the Overseer into the only source of truth left in the world. Even when the door finally opened, the residents didn't see a chance at freedom. They saw a threat to their survival. Vault 81. Back to the parasites living inside the walls. They weren't saving anyone, they were there to watch the people they called neighbors through one-way mirrors. The experiment was the complete dehumanization of the elite. Vault-Tec wanted to see if they could train a group of people to watch their own friends die through a glass pane and feel nothing but the need to check a box. They wanted to see if they could delete human empathy entirely. Vault-Tec had a team of scientists sitting in a dark maintenance tunnel, watching a kid they've known since birth die from a designer plague they personally released into the air vents. They don't help. They don't even want to. They just record his tremors. On one side of the glass, you have a person in a lab coat, and on the other, you have Subject 42. Vault-Tec proved that a man trained like a dog will eventually forget how to walk like a man. These vaults weren't about survival at all. They were about seeing how much absolute bullshit a human being can be trained to accept. Though the mind games were just the start. While these vaults were busy breaking your spirit, others were already moving on to your blood. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, just feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I mean, you made it this far. You must have enjoyed something, at least. Now, leave a comment telling me what your favorite edit was, because I honestly spent hours and hours and hours editing this video. It was a lot. But with that, I will see you guys on the next episode of Theory Uncovered.